Hello and welcome to another lesson in the object-oriented and functional programming section of freeCodeCamp. This lesson, Make Object Properties Private, says objects have their own attributes called properties and their own functions called methods. In the previous challenges, we used the this keyword to reference public properties of the current object. We can also create private properties and private methods which aren't accessible from outside the object. To do this, we create the variable inside the constructor using the var keyword we are familiar with instead of creating it as a property of this. And here you guys can see their car constructor function here has a private property as opposed to using the this keyword. So to do this, we create the variable inside the constructor using the var keyword we're familiar with instead of creating it as a property of this. This is useful for when we need to store information about an object, but we want to control how it is used by outside code. For example, what if we want to store the speed our car is traveling at, but we only want outside code to be able to modify it by accelerating or decelerating so the speed changes in a controlled way? In the editor, you can see an example of a car constructor that implements this pattern. Now try it yourself. Modify the bike constructor to have a private property called gear and two public methods called getGear and setGear to get and set that value. So this is a car constructor. It has a private property, speed, assigned 10 to it. These are our public methods. So we similarly want to modify this bike constructor, which has nothing in it right now, and we're going to pretty much do kind of what they did up there. We're going to create a private property gear started at 0. Then we're going to do our public method, which would be this getGear, which is going to get the gear, and setGear is going to set it. So we would do getGear as a function and it will return gear. So setGear would be our second method, setGear, also function, and this will get gear and assign to it change. Change will be our parameter. So now down here, this should now work good. Let's see, what the method getGear of my bike should be accessible outside the object. The method setGear of my bike should be accessible outside the object, and it is. It's accessible outside, as opposed to gear, which is not accessible outside. So my bike.getGear should return 4 after calling my bike.setGear4. So we can my bike.setGear4. Let's see what this returns. That's pretty much it for this lesson, but just so you guys can see, it returned 4, and that is because setGear function takes in a parameter of change 4, and it will grab gear and update it to have 4, and that's what's happening here. And that is it for this lesson for Make Object Properties Private. If you guys have questions, comment down below. This is pretty much just understand that what they're trying to get us to see here is we could create private properties that are only accessible inside the object. And as long as you guys understand that, then you guys got this lesson. You guys can also look up closure videos, JavaScript closure videos, and that will be pretty helpful too. But that's it for this lesson. Stick around for the next one.